It's ready?
What is the message to the people today, Jeff?
It's going to be an exciting year, some new faces, but a lot of expectations still. I talked to our team yesterday, and if you're trying to go from 1 to 10, the past 3 years we started at 5 because we had so many returning players, we had so much continuity, experience back, and I told him I think we're starting at 2 right now. And we're going to have to build up to that 10, but are we talented enough to get there? Yes. But it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of patience. Players starting to buy in and starting to figure out what their role is going to be on this team. And it's not as easily, said as it's done, especially when you have so many new players. But really excited about, starting here on Tuesday.
Can you tell at this point how many of your freshmen are going to be maybe part of that rotation?
Well, we'll have a couple. At this point in time, they're doing well. They're excited. But, you return Yassine Diop, who we weren't expecting to be back, because she tears an ACL. She's a 6-year. And then we end up getting the 2 transfers in, 3, but 2 that are eligible to play. So, some dynamics have changed. But they're working extremely hard, and they're competing each day. So it's going to be fun. And then it's just going to come down to who performs.
Yassine's in a pretty unique situation, having been here for 3 years, but kind of thought she was going to get in the groove last season, ended up not. What have you seen from her so far this offseason?
Well, I've been trying to get her just to relax. She put so much pressure on herself because she wants to get back into things. Where I told her yesterday at practice, golly, it looks like you got 10 pounds of bricks on your shoulders. She's pressing. She wants to make every single shot, wants to make every play perfect. And when you start to do that, you start to look bad. So I've told her, put a smile on her face, just go out there and play, let the game come to her. And, it's because she missed a whole year. She wants to do so well that at times wanting it can be bad if you want it too bad. So I've talked to her about that and hoping to see some change from her today at practice, where she'll just be more relaxed and go out there and start playing the way we know she can.
How did the transfers and freshmen react to the attention they got at the autograph event the other night?
They really enjoyed it. That's one of the big changes for a lot of them is the support that we get here in women's basketball. We're very fortunate and very blessed to have the fans that we have. They're so knowledgeable, they're passionate, and it's exciting for them. A couple of them come from some programs where they're very good, but they just didn't get the fan support. And now they're starting to see it, and not only from the other night, but when they're out around town. Our fans recognize them, they know who they are, they're asking for autographs, and we tell them it's going to happen. And our kids do a wonderful job in our community, and I think that's why our attendance actually increased this past year. And I think we were the only basketball program in the state, men or women, whose attendance increased.
Piggybacking on that, this event here continues to grow every year. Talking about what this means to see all these people come out in the middle of the day on a Friday.
Oh, it's great. And it's a chance for them, and I'm excited too, because this is the first year that we've had as many new faces as we're going to have. So a lot of these fans that are here are going to get a chance to see Norika Kono for the first time, Elizabeth Balogun, Liz Dixon, Naya, Ramani, Kiana. So you've got a lot of new faces, which I know is exciting for them.
When you have so many new players and you're trying to figure out the rotation, is there something specific you're looking for in the first couple games?
I'm just looking for, see how we gel, see who plays well together. I talked to him the other day about it's not always you're going to start your best 5 players. You're going to start the players that have a flow together and play well together. Dana had worked extremely hard and probably deserved to start last year. But for our team, we were much better with AC out there as a starter and Dana coming off the bench to changing the tempo of the game. And it takes somebody who's got a high character, confident enough in themselves, and willing to do what's best for the team. Because everybody wants to start because they all love the handshake. Everybody wants to come up with their own handshake. I kind of wish we just in FIBA you just announce every player. So they announce every player 1 through 12. They get their name announced, and then you put your starting 5 out there. I kind of wish we'd go to that. Then nobody would really care probably who started because you want to get your 2 minutes of fame with your handshake. But it's going to be interesting to see how we adjust to that.
at this point? Is there anyone who you see being that sort of sixth man that Dana was last year?
You know what? I'm not quite sure yet. We're in a situation right now. We've got 7 or 8 that could start, and now it's a matter of figuring out. For me, that's why we'll probably see some different starting lineups throughout the year. On Tuesday night, if things go great and we look good with the 5 that start and who we bring off the bench and the rotation we have, of course we'll stick with it. But it wouldn't surprise me if there's some changes.
Opening the season with an in-state rival like Western Kentucky, how is that different for you guys? Especially, but you got it at home this year.
Well, I know it's great. I mean, I'm a big fan of playing our in-state schools. We're going to get the opportunity to play at Northern Kentucky this year. We're playing at Kentucky. We've got Western Kentucky. We've got Murray. They're really good ball clubs. We actually lost 3 years ago at Western Kentucky in a game that was a really good basketball game. So I'm excited about it. There's a lot of Western Kentucky alum here in Louisville. Hopefully they'll come out to Tuesday night to support them. But I always think it's good for our program in our state.
How good are they?
Western's really good. They've got 3 returning starters. Dee Gibbons, I think she's back, and I think she had about 24, 25 on us last year at their place. So we know we're going to have our hands full.
Your overall rating of how Halloween night went?
It was great. A little chilly. I thought everybody handed out some really good candy. We had some full-size candy bars, which I was very impressed with. So yes, great night. My kids really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it.
And you get a percentage of that?
No, I let that stay with them. I'm trying to eat a little healthier.
Did you see your players doing impressions of your coaching staff on Instagram yesterday, and who did you think did it the best?
I did not get a chance to see it. I heard about it, so I'm looking forward to going back and watching. So I'm sure there's some real good ones.
Romani had a good one of you.
Okay, I can only imagine. Thank you, everybody. You guys are great. Thank you, everyone. Really, again, would just like to start off by saying thank you to our players. This is not possible without them. It's a group of young women that have a vision, that are working extremely hard to reach a goal that's difficult. I say it all the time, if this was easy, everybody'd do it. If it was easy, everybody'd be on scholarship. But I would like for you all to give them a round of applause, because that's why we're here. Thank you. And Vince, thank you for all of your support. Christine Herring, who's not with us right now, she is with the cross-country team at Virginia Tech in what was a monsoon last night, as she sent me a video of what I thought was a swimming pool, but it actually was the finish line for them. So they are out there getting ready to compete in what can't be very good conditions, but that's the one thing we're fortunate about playing an indoor sport. We always know what the weather's going to be. I want to start off, as our players did, by thanking all of you. We're in a situation right now where we've just reached a little bit over 800 for our tip-off luncheon, which is the largest crowd we have had in 13 seasons. You're going to have the opportunity to watch a basketball team on Tuesday night, and hopefully all of you can make it, that you're going to see a lot of new faces. We're a program, as I told our kids yesterday right now, if you're trying to go from 1 to 10, and 10 be the best you're going to be by the end of the season. The past few years, I think we started off at about a 5. Because when you're looking at returning as many players as we had, with the Asia Durr, Erica Carter, Sam Furines, and Jazz and Dana, it made things a little bit easier. So you started a lot further. I'd say we're starting at about a 2 right now. We're starting at a 2 because we've got 6 new faces, 5 that are eligible to play. Obviously, Kiana Smith is sitting out this year. And we're trying to get to know each other. We're trying to figure out who's going to do what, who's going to take what responsibilities over. Who's going to be that one when we need a basket, the ball's going in their hands. And I say that because it's when the lights come on, it's a whole new ball game. Practice is one thing. You can come to practice and you can watch, you're like, hey, that's the person. But then you wait for when the lights come on, when there's 10,000 people. Making a free throw in front of 20 people at practicing is difficult. is making one with 10,000 people cheering. So we're going to have some exciting games. It's going to be some exciting times for us, especially the first 5 games are all at home, which I think is great for this team, because we're going to have the comforts of knowing you all are going to be there. We have a group of wonderful young women. It's the one thing that we take a lot of pride in. Steph's been with me for all 13 years, and we've got some stories to go from year 1 to year 13. We've had some wonderful players, some unique individuals that have made us laugh, have challenged us. But one thing we continue to work on is not only getting good basketball players in here, but getting good people. And these young women, as Vince said, I can honestly say I don't worry about getting a phone call at night. I don't worry about it. You know, they aren't perfect. It's what I tell everybody that I talk to. We were all 18 to 22 at one point in time in our lives. For Yassine, 24. Right, Yaya? But I can't say we always did the right thing. But the difference is we didn't have to worry about a camera phone. You know, when I did something stupid, it was whoever was there and then maybe 1 or 2 people that saw it. It didn't go viral for everybody to see it. And what we tell our players, we don't have a bunch of rules here. We do not. You act like an adult, we treat you like one. If you don't know how, we'll teach you. And that I'm most concerned about when we go recruiting, besides the fact you have to be able to play a little basketball, it's that you know right from wrong. I'm not expecting them to do everything right, but when something does happen, I want to be able to sit down with them, our staff, and have a discussion, and they can honestly look at you and go, Coach, that was pretty stupid. I shouldn't have done that. And then we move on, because that's what life's all about. I've got a lot of friends in this business that have so many rules you can't keep track of them all. But then my concern with that is once they leave us, what have we prepared them for? Because as I always joke with them, you know, when you go get that first job and you show up late 3 days in a row, I don't think the boss is taking you down to the parking lot to run the parking lot lines. You know, you're going to get a pink slip. You're going to end up getting fired. So we try to prepare them for what's coming after basketball. Because unfortunately, for the young women in this room and those that have graduated and moved on, they're not going to have the opportunity to make the millions as the men do some in the NBA. You know, you have some that have had opportunities, have great careers. Angel McCoughtry was just inducted into our Hall of Fame. Yes. And at the end of her career, an unbelievable career, as of right now, a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, she's going to have to find a job. Where on the men's side, they go get a job just because they want to stay busy if they've done anything with their money. But for us, we've got to make sure they're prepared to succeed after this is all over. Not only are we going to go out here to win basketball games and try to make you all proud, but I promise you, when you see these young women in the community, they're going to make you proud also. That's one thing we take pride in. I'd like real quick to ask everybody that has a touch on women's basketball, because I'm not going to introduce everybody's name, it'd take too long. Whoever has a touch on women's basketball, please stand up within our athletic department. Am I the only one? Yeah, coaches, you too. Chris, thank you. Managers, thank you. Yes. It takes a village to do what we do. And I want to thank all of them because they make my job easy. They allow me to do what I can do. They allow me to coach. They allow me to be able to go home and spend time with my family, who my wife is here, and Lola and Lucy, who were just 2 beautiful mermaids last night. And I think that's one thing we all take a lot of pride in. Because everybody within our staff is willing to work, we're able to spend time with our families. Because this is a job that takes up a lot of your time. But it's one we chose. And that's what I tell our players all the time. You choose your profession. choose wisely. I encourage them. They're fortunate and blessed to be able to finish a college career and not have a college debt. So don't chase a dime on what you want to do. Chase something you love. Because then when you go to work every day, it's not a job. It's a passion. Because I tell them, and it's the honest truth, I have many friends, graduated high school and college with, that the best part of their week is Friday at 5, and the worst part is Sunday at 9. Because that's when the work week starts over. And you get so far into a career that it's like, God, I'm doing so well, I don't want to change because now I'm going to have to go back and pay. So I tell them, find something you love and go after it. And as you heard those 6 women that were up here talking about their careers afterwards, the passion they had for what they want to do. We do not dictate what our student athletes major in. Some programs, hey, you've got to be this, you've got to do that. We let them choose. Because at the end of the day, it's their lives. And we want to support their dreams. For this upcoming season, I hope we can start off with our Western Kentucky game on Tuesday night. You know, it's election night, so I hope you'll all go out and vote. Okay? It's a good thing. It's our civic duties. And then come to the ball game. Let's show these young women who this is going to be their first opportunity to dress and come out for warm-ups what this fan base is all about. We have a little bit of everything this year. I've said it all along. I've said it on the radio, 2 through 15. We're as good as we've been. Now we're trying to find out who the one is going to be. And we have a lot of people that can step up and do that. And what I think is going to be unique is it might not just be one person throughout the entire year. It might be 3 or 4 different people throughout the year, depending what night it is and who we're playing. But I laugh at them and I joke with them all the time because we've kind of had the conversations at times. We've had our 2 scrimmages that, you know, when we needed a bucket last year and Asia got a shot off and made it, I joke with them. I go, she made that look pretty easy at times, didn't she? And they all laughed. They're like, yeah, that's not as easy as we thought. But what I'm proud of them is they've worked this off season. They know what we have coming back, and we have a great group. I just want to thank all of you because, again, without you, it's not possible. In our recruiting world, the one thing every recruit talks about is our fan base, the excitement when they come to our games. And it's a big reason that I can tell you that our 3 transfers that signed with us this past year decided to come. Kiana had committed to Cal before we had actually had a chance to really get into the recruiting. But Elizabeth and Liz, we actually recruited both of them pretty hard. And, you know, they joke with me because when they decide to go to Georgia Tech, and it's what I do with all recruits, I don't get mad at them. You know, they're 18 years old. Everybody's doing something they think's best for them. I always wish them the best. I wish them the best. I hope they have a great career, and I tell them when they play us, I hope they suck. And Elizabeth and Liz, you held true to that. So I really, really appreciate that. Memphis, I see you over there. All right. And what's funny is when I called them, when they went into the transfer portal, we talked about that. Because it's really something else in this recruiting, how vicious coaches can get when a player decides to go someplace else. And I've always been a believer, and I tell our players, we only want players who have 2 feet in. Because in today's day and age, especially with social media, everybody's journey is different. Everybody's journey at this level does not start here and go straight up. There's peaks and valleys. And when you're into a valley, how many, once you get to social media, is like, you made a wrong mistake, you should leave, you should transfer, you should go someplace else. And that's the pressure these kids feel. But if you've got 2 feet in, instead of worrying about that, you're coming in trying to figure out what can I do to change things. And that's what it's all about. So I appreciate your all support. You guys are absolutely wonderful. I can't believe it's been going on 13 years now. It's absolutely amazing. And we always joke in this profession, and Coach Burns, Steph, we always joke, you know, it's not easy to be someplace for 13 years. You know, it's really not. Expectations keep getting higher and higher, but that's what you want as a coach. But our players have done a wonderful job of living up to those expectations. Because at the end of the day, I've yet to make a shot. I'm 0 for 1. I got in a little bit of trouble for that. But I think Sagan threw me the pass. Was it you, Sagan, who threw me that pass? She's not saying much now. Is that you? It was a great pass. I appreciate it. So it's these young women that have to go out every single night, every single day, and do it. They're the ones that get the rebounds. They're the ones that make the shots. They're the ones that make it exciting for you all to come back. So thank you. Hope to see you all out there on Tuesday night. And again, let's give these young ladies a great round of applause. Thank you.